You cute, girl. You cute.
Right away.
Panda, what's up with these two over here?
Yo. You ain't watched the movie The Help?
The who?
Watch what? The Help.
Nope.
The Help? Yes, the movie The Help.
Oh, yes.
Okay, where she says to the little girl, you is kind.
Oh, you is kind, you is pretty.
Yes,
you was
whatever
smart.
else. Yeah.
She was giving her the
So,
affirmation.
I was saying that Harvey's over there smiling because he thinks he's smart.
Oh, you is smart.
And then I started going
You
into
is
the...
kind.
There you go.
You is handsome.
I appreciate it. I need those affirmations.
There
We
you go.
all
Thank
do,
you.
especially if that's your love language. Do you know your love language, Nancy?
Yeah, Shanice gave me a quiz the other day.
Oh, what's yours?
I think I'm like 3 of them. I'm really close. Like it's the first one is.
Why you look at him for?
Acts of service.
Acts
No. When you want to be close to somebody.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Or physical touch. Which one?
I think it's the same thing.
Not really,
No.
because you can be with someone and not
Yeah.
want them to touch
So it's
you.
quality time,
Okay.
physical touch,
Mm-hmm.
acts of service.
Those
And they
your
were
top
like
3.
they were like between 30 and 25%. Those 3, and then the rest was like. So I don't know what that means, but it means something.
So
He means cut the love
pretty
on
much, if your love language, if your number one love language is quality time, you just like being with that person.
Yeah.
Them being with you is enough. They
Yeah.
never have to buy you a gift. Like they can, and
Yeah.
you'll appreciate it. However, them just being with you is enough to fill your cup. So
That's
that's
it.
what that means.
I was the only child. I got enough gifts growing up. I don't need that.
Nancy, what did you say your love language was?
Action.
Acts of service?
Acts of service. Because if I can do it by myself.
Right, what I need you
But
for.
if you randomly take care of something that I've neglected, then my guy, you're in there like swim wet.
Hey! I get it. What's yours, King Al?
I don't think I really know.
Oh,
To
I'm
tell
gonna
the
send you the
truth.
test then. I'm gonna send you
I
the
don't
test.
think I really know.
I think
Yeah, after this conversation, team is definitely gonna send you that.
Okay, so-
Whatever.
As you guys,
Wait,
as
wait,
you're
hold on.
speaking,
Hold on, let her tell you the 5 that it can be, and then go
You say
from
what you
there.
think it is.
okay,
Okay.
so the 5 love languages are quality time,
mm-hmm,
words of affirmation,
mm-hmm,
physical touch,
mm-hmm.
gift giving, and acts of service. So acts of service is pretty much someone just seeing something needs to be done and they just do it for you. Like, it's wintertime now. Do you go outside and heat up her car, or do you go outside and start the car up for her? That's an act of service. You know what I mean? So if your partner's main love language is acts of service, she absolutely loves when you just do things because you see it needs to be done. Like her plate is full, she can't get to it, and you just do it.
Yeah, I've been known to take hold of the word initiative, so.
But that
Yeah,
may
but
not
we're
be
asking
how
about for you.
how do you feel love? Do you feel love when the person
What
spends
do
time
you
with you,
want?
when they give you gifts, when they automatically just do things for you? What is your way of feeling loved by your partner? So since it's new to you, sit on it
Okay.
and I'll go to someone else.
Okay.
Tima? Is this new for you too? Alright, so you sit on that too.
Can you send me a link so I can do it now?
You want me-
no.
No, I just told you out loud, so I'm not gonna send the link. I just told you all 5 love languages.
But then I feel like all of them apply. That's why I'm like, I
They
can't really
can.
pick.
They can all apply. However, what is the
Except for the
number
gift
one
giving.
for you? So then gift giving wouldn't be your main one. That would be your 5th one.
Yeah.
So then you have to
Alright,
think
so-
of it. Do you know yours?
I think it's affirmation, acts of service, and then the cuddling.
Quality.
Physical touch. Okay. So for me, I need all of them. However, I need all of them in the
Right,
day.
that was my
I
order.
dead ass need all of them in the day.
In the day.
In the day, I need them all because I give them all in the day to the people I love.
Okay.
So here it is. Words of affirmation is my number one, is my main one. Like, good morning, beautiful. How you doing today? That gets me. You in my fling. You could good morning, beautiful. Damn, you look good in that dress. Oh my God. What did you do different? Did you color your hair? Did you like shit like that?
Okay.
Love it. Milk it. So that's first. Then acts of service is next because my plate is full. I'm always doing something. So if someone can see that my trash is overflowing and it needs to get taken out, take out the trash.
That's why I never leave here empty-handed. I told you that. Every time
Whenever
I
my
leave this
brother's
house,
here, if he
I
sees the
never
trash
leave
is
here
full,
empty-handed.
he'll take the trash from me. I absolutely love it.
Because I already
It's
know
cold
where it's at.
outside. I don't want to go outside. So,
Not even just that, because if I go to my parents' house, he would leave, my father and my mother, they would leave it there. And if I'm walking the door, as I'm walking out, I'll see it there, because you can't miss it. It's
You
right
gotta
there
do
at
it.
the door.
Right.
Not even that you just have to do it. You know
it
what
just
I mean?
needs to be done. So just get it
Right.
done.
I feel like as a man, you gotta do that. That's like.
I feel like as a human being, an able human being,
So
you
what
should
if
do
she
it.
was living alone? What can you say now?
She don't got a man around her, so she gotta do
Okay,
it
so
herself.
all right.
But if
So-
you're around, you just do it.
We gonna get to that. That's the fourth topic. That
Okay.
might be a fourth topic.
So my second one is acts of service. The third one is quality time. Fourth is physical touch. Fifth is gift giving. So for me, you good morning text me, and then because you already know that is something I
That's
like.
crazy.
I am crazy. So because
I'm invested.
I give everybody their time.
Sorry.
Right.
So
Cállate.
because you know I like the affirmations and you did it without me telling you, you're in like Flynn because you hit 2 just like that, right?
Okay.
And being that that's something that people don't do regularly, you just gave me a gift. You see how easy that was? And because you know that about me, obviously you spent time with me and you were able to touch me in that way. Wow. All 5 done. I am your lovely host, Panda. And then we have my lovely co-host, Big Cap.
Hello, people.
She is so action
Out
and
there
I
in the
love it.
world.
I love all the action in it. And then we have our lovely Tima.
Hello, what's going on, y'all?
And we have King Al.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's poppin'?
We have our lovely
Haters gonna
API, Javi.
What up? What up? What up?
We have
me.
2 guests with us today. We have Nancy and we have her brother Michael. He's joining us at some point in time today, but he's
Yeah.
So I'm here until he can answer for himself. But I
on the road again.
Oh,
Oh, I heard it.
I seen it light up. He's on. He thinks he's talking.
Hold on.
he is.
Are you there?
I can answer. I am here.
So he's on audio, not video, because
Right. I didn't know you were with us. Did you hear the love languages conversation?
Yeah, I heard people turning you out with a few things. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Is that what you got from that? Really?
What?
Do you know your love languages?
Things in my life.
Do you know your love languages?
I know a few of them. Yes.
Okay, what's your number one? What's your main one?
Whoa. Why are we going straight to me? I'm a guest.
Because we already went.
You just got on, bro, man, from the 4th floor.
Oh,
Excuse me. I'm going to skip my turn this time.
All right, so we can go back to
So
Justin.
now we can go back to
King
King Al and
No,
Tima. Go ahead, King Al and Tima. Y'all had time to think about it.
okay.
So now that you've heard the responses and what it means and you've had time to
Process.
it, can I tell you what I think they are?
Go ahead.
In the order?
No, just what your main one.
Mine one?
I think both of y'all's. No, wait. I think yours is quality time.
I was gonna say.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom!
So yours is quality time. And for you, I feel like it's gift giving and then quality time. I feel like those 2 are right here. No, wait. Quality time, gift giving, and words of affirmation are here for you. So for me, I don't know which one of those 3 you picked first, but one of those 3 is first.
I was gonna go with affirmation because, you know, those wake up texts, I usually don't get those, you know, and like following with the gift giving, I would rate that probably like as 3rd, and you can say quality time, but then I kind of bound quality time and physical touch, kind of almost, they kind of like boundary with the same because anybody can spend quality time, but wanting and knowing that you're gonna have that touch, feel that touch, love that touch.
Right, but this is your love language, period, from anyone. So
I say it's okay. So I would say it's physical.
would be the physical touch.
Yes.
So you could be hanging with your boys and you want them touching you. That's how you're gonna know they love you.
That's
No,
not
I say
gonna
what's
ask
up, you know. No, not no pat. You know what I mean? Like, but brotherly love. You know what I mean? Like, hug it out.
So if you're broke,
I see why
She had to do it weird way. She had to
That's
do
how
it.
it goes, though. That's what the love language is. It's not just romantic love. It's love in period. How you feel love. So
you
if your
like your boys
homeboy
to hug
don't
on
dap you
you?
up, you're gonna feel away. That's what that means.
I will.
You would feel away.
I will.
All right, then what then is that?
because he
I
gets
will.
mad at me when I don't give him a
But
hug.
I
you have a
will.
homeboy. You ain't
I really
spraying.
will though.
But still, I'm still his
But-
friend, and he get mad at me when I don't give him a hug. So yeah, he
Alright,
definitely
so then it is.
I really will,
He
because
does.
that kind of generated an argument between me and my boy the other day, because I walked up to him and the first thing I seen him, I was like, yo, what's up? Good morning. I came up to him and he was like, yo, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would say physical touch. See,
You know what I mean? That will be, that's complete. That's going down the hill right
That was
there.
cool. That was very good. See, I
Yo,
said those three
dog.
would be up there.
That right there, it like, I come up to my sister, if I don't hug her, if I walk up to her and she can't hug me, if she starts with, yo, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
That's the set off, right? Because you came to spend time with me and I didn't
Right.
give you no physical touch.
Right.
You didn't
Right.
get hugged.
This is why when I hug her, mind you, it could be early in the morning. I will
You
climb
realize
her
that it's
to hug
usually
her.
what you didn't get
Yeah.
what
as a
you
child is what you're
What's
taught.
your love language?
Yeah.
2 and
It's
3
true
are.
Because I got the gifts.
when
from
I
my
was a
mom.
kid, all I got told was that I looked like Whoopi Goldberg from when she was silly. So
What?
yeah, that's what I was told as a kid. And you know when Suge was like, "You sure is ugly," like I didn't think I was cute growing up.
Yo, I felt the same way.
So of course, like
Until I strike like middle school, that's the only way I started feeling
When I got
myself.
boobies.
yeah,
and
no,
high
I started to
school.
feel myself when I got my job and I could take care of myself. I could go get my hair done. I could go get my nails done. I
Always,
could buy
I
my
was older.
clothes. I was 14 when I started working.
I was working for myself at 12.
Yeah, I was working at 14.
Well, yeah, I actually was summer camps and
So-
shit, but not full
Nah, I did. I used to watch.
I lied.
I used to watch.
Live.
It's generational only because my brother's a weirdo.
The eyes
I
for
heard
me.
that.
So for us as siblings, he'll and because he's a big man, he will hug us not because he loves us dearly. Maybe it is because he does, but it's because he knows it annoys us. But with his kids, the whole "I love you," the hugs, all that stuff that we did not do with our parents, he does with his kids. So it's just like I don't make it. Whatever it is that he decided to show affection for, he was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it. You know what, I'm going to say it's because of his wife. Their family is like
Real
lovey,
touchy.
cuddly, you know.
and because of that dynamic, salt, oil and water, he's picked up on doing that same thing with his kids. He's trying to give it to us too, and we're just like,
Come on now.
You know, you say that, right? But and you know what? I can answer. My love language is actually spending time with people, and I have time where I spend with individuals more than groups. So, like, I was at Nancy's house with her alone. That would be our love language, of course, whole thing. I love you, Nancy. Fucking love you.
no.
I tell my brother I love him too sometimes.
And I tell her I love her too. And I'm starting to get to say it to, as far as like my father.
I'm like Michael
And,
too.
you know,
I just started to
I
hug
tell him
myself
just
because of my
because.
kids. I didn't hug before.
Maybe because I haven't had a kid yet, but I'm still like.
I still don't like being touched. She just learned that I don't like being touched.
So he has this thing where every once in a while
She gonna take my love.
pop up in his head, and he'll write like a paragraph to that person, like, "Oh, I love you. Remember this time or whatever." The last time he did that to me, I was like, "Bro, you dying? You okay? What's wrong? What? You good? What's wrong with you?"
Nancy, just take the affection. Take the affection. Just take it.
And love it. Embrace it.
Stop trying to force it on me.
Take it.
It's like the vaccine. I don't want it.
Uh-oh.
Honey.
It's
So-
really weird and difficult to learn to accept affection and then reciprocating.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
So, you know, I learned with my kids and my wife how to accept and to give affection. And my boys, we all hug. We all,
My kids
like,
too.
really hug. Like, none of my dudes just slap up. We're like, nah, here, get in this close hug. Get our hips may touch. You'll be okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Hug your sons.
No, Nancy. Start with the step one, accepting.
Yeah, just accept it first.
Have I ever told you?
So now that we got the suck teeth out of
The
Nancy,
way.
and we're talking about all this love stuff, if you were to ever, in this moment, right now, this second, lose everything, do you have anyone you can stay with for free while you get yourself together?
My parents.
And how long do you think before it's time to before
Before you-
they kick you out?
Before
Not
you overstay your
First
welcome.
and foremost, my parents, I don't know if y'all are Haitian in there, any one of y'all,
Half Haitian.
My Tima.
Asian.
but also you're not a girl.
She
They
is.
they do not want their female children moving out of the house until they are married. That
Facts.
means after the wedding day.
Yeah.
Not engaged, not a baby, after the wedding.
That's
When I
crazy.
told my parents I was moving out the first time, they're like, so everybody's gonna think that we did something wrong to you? Or what, like, what's wrong? Why do you have to leave? Also, why don't you stay for a house? Why aren't you staying? It took years for them to accept the fact that I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
Michael did it the exact same way. He got married and then he moved out. He's the beloved child. Okay? But I was just like, I gotta go. I need freedom. I need to be able to do things without having to sneak out as an adult. So, but if I'm telling them I'm coming back, they will accept me back. No conditions, but I will be back in a household where I'm treated like a child.
Yes, because it's their house, their rules. Yeah, I get that. You know what? Your parents are from Haiti, my parents are from Honduras, and I feel like we grew up in the same house because it's the same way over here. It's the same. And
But you got the nerve, the audacity, the gall to move out. Why?
like, how dare you? The audacity. But at least you can go back to them. Not everybody can say that they can go to their parents and stay there for free, but as long as they need to. So that in itself is a blessing. They may not have hugged you up and said, I loved you, but you can always go home whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has that. Y'all, could y'all go
Because
somewhere?
I don't have that.
Where can you go?
I couldn't
My
go
parents.
to my
Or
parents.
my mom, more or less.
Yeah, you can go to your parents?
Yeah.
I would say my parents.
I have 2 friends.
I hope I'm one of them. You can
No.
stay here.
Uh-uh.
She's like, them kids.
No,
No, but there's a difference of if you want to or if you can. You can stay here, you just would choose not to.
That's like an infection here. What
That's
do you
true,
mean?
because I be running.
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, come on, man. Nah.
No,
nah.
but
Nah. Look,
So
I'm
there's a
itching
difference.
already. You see what I'm
There's
saying?
a
Don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
understood
Don't
that
do
difference.
there's
Don't
a
do
difference of knowing that you
But
can
yeah,
go
so then
somewhere
So then
and
choosing.
choosing if you don't want to be there.
Right.
But do you have that available to you? Yes, I have 3 people.
Okay.
Yes. Although I would
Well, I didn't
not.
know we were saying more than one.
Right, at least you got 3.
Yeah.
I got
Jeez.
some options.
You got options?
I got options.
I feel like I could say with my whole family. You know,
And see, that's the only thing that irks me. I wish my options would be family.
Other
So,
than friends.
Yeah.
remember we talked
Most of
about
our
this.
options-
Family is
exactly.
what you
it's what you
create.
make. Exactly.
Those are your relatives. They just
Mhm.
got the same blood in your veins. That's it. That's not your family. There's a difference. We talked about that too.
We did.
You got
We did.
relatives and you have family. You have choices and then you have what you want. So let's keep this.
What do you have? How many do you have?
None. Me and my kids, we're gonna find a shelter. It's 3 of us. Where we going? And I got teenagers. Ain't nobody wanna deal with that.
There's
Listen.
who though?
And they
How you know?
aggy
Yo,
with they head asses.
they're in that.
They are
They're in that
with their head asses.
teenage phase. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where, you know.
So is that you having the option and not
Nah.
choosing to put that stress on? So like I wouldn't even want this.
Nobody ain't taking me for free till I get on my feet.
Nope.
The key word here, that
It's
prepositional phrase is
It's
for
free.
free.
Yeah.
It ain't
for as
happening.
long as you need until you
Y'all
get on
like
your
hold
feet. So
me
let's
up.
just say
They're
like,
they're gonna be like, no. No, they're gonna be like, no.
If I had my own place, I would.
If you had your own place, but you don't.
right? So she
So
says,
again,
if it happened right now,
If
she
right
would be
now, this
asked
second,
out.
my daycare plummeted, please don't. I have nothing.
See, this is why I'm gonna get my life together. But you're gonna have to give the kids to somebody else. You could come say, you can get the kids to like your grandmother, something.
Both of my grandmothers are
Your
gone.
dad, Alfred.
My father is on his way out.
I would say my mom.
I can't give
You
I
them.
would
can
say
get the
my
kids.
mom.
Listen to your other son. You know, let him stay there
To
with
the other
them
son.
for a little bit. You can stay with me as long as you need, Manda. As long as you need.
So
She said,
again,
talking about you, not the
my
kids.
children-
Even
Nah.
jackpot, but not the kids. Okay. You got to find somewhere for them like they cat and dog. Okay. Okay.
with that being said, the answer is no, I don't.
For yourself.
You do, because if she take you in jackpot, my mom would
So
take the
it's
kids.
the same thing as like being in a relationship. So if somebody was to come to me and be like, I'm gonna take you, but I can't be
I
with your
know
kid.
that's like
I'm a
that's
package
not
deal.
fair.
You
Right.
take me
Yeah.
and them.
Right.
You
Well, I
can't
say
take
my
the
mom.
chicken without
I
the
say my
chicks.
mom. I say my mom.
But you know you would come over if you
I say
you
my
know
mom. I would
exactly.
say my mom.
However,
You need a
I'll say
little
my
bit
mom.
of time. Come on now.
Yes.
so there's that.
Yo, from personal experience though, I feel like sometimes it's the adults that are more of an issue than the kids.
They are. It is the
Yeah,
adults because no one has
I-
patience.
Now, and kids eat, yo, we would take
Kids are kids.
We had
They just
somebody
got
who
here.
went rent free for a couple of years. I won't go into the details. And honestly, the kid, all he did was play. Would they be playing games like Fortnite?
Yo, do you know
All
it
that-
sound like
All that. That's all they do. That's it.
That's all they
You
do.
don't even see them.
You sound like you're 59 years old. Did you really
Yeah,
say that thing that they be playing it? I wish they would have recorded his face when he
59.
did that. He was like, yeah, I said
Yeah, 59. I
He's
age well.
59. He's like Benjamin Button.
Look at him.
Wow.
Looks
He's like
amazing.
know that.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah. Right. For 59 though.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What is that? And you guys made an interesting topic.
Topping?
What kind of
Love
pizza
it.
was it?
What
Yeah.
type? I say pineapple does go on pizza. Thank you
not.
very much. Yes, it
Was
does.
it a meatless pizza?
It
Oh.
does. Thank you.
Wu-Tang
So-
pineapple.
You guys made a valid point real quick. Nancy, you said that your brother did it the right way. He got married first.
According to them, but no, he didn't do it the right way. Everything out of the house, he had his eldest long before.
Oh, so then he didn't do it the right way. Okay.
Not doing the right way. He did one piece the way that they would hope, which was waiting till after marriage to move out of the house. But before that, they were calling him all sorts of mind-flending and
Interpret,
Wait.
please.
Pause.
Interpret, please.
Manflende.
calling him a fool and vagabond. A vagabond.
I know Vagabond. I know Vagabond. That I know. It's in all the soca songs.
For getting the girl knocked up pre the wedding ring. Like you couldn't even fiance that chick before you knocked the one out. Oh my god. What the heck?
I need him to jump in and defend himself here.
Sometime today, Michael.
In your wife, right?
I'm here. I'm just, she doesn't remember, but she was my fiance before we had the kid. But
The guys, you
I agree on the niggas. It took a few years before I was married. But I just realized if you know the note for a wedding, you know it would take a while.
Interesting.
if he was smiling right now because he was lying through his mind
I mean, alright, whatever. But yeah, I got a kid first, and then we got married. And then we moved out.
So he didn't do it in order. He did a order. And by the time we were all adults, it was just like, you know what? He already has a kid, so they're just waiting on the wedding. He got the wedding, he has a kid, he has a house. As far as they're concerned, he cannot be bothered to do tasks. He's a full-fledged adult as they're concerned. Until that happens with me, I am task rabbit.
So you have to do everything.
Heard
that.
Husband
you no babies.
You have no
Exactly.
Hey, listen.
Wow.
So,
She has to rewind.
being that everything was not done in a specific order, did it really matter to you that things didn't happen in order in your life? Would you have preferred it? Like before you even thought of meeting your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, you
Got her pregnant. And
right, all of that. What was your plan? What was your vision? How did you want it? How did you want it to look?
I had no plan.
You was a kid when he better.
But I'm saying, you know how sometimes when you're a kid and some people already have their wedding plan when they're a kid. Like, I want to meet the boy first. Like, was that your initial vision when you were a child or like growing up before? No?
Not at all. So my wife had a vision. She had visions of what she wanted and the steps that she wanted and what she wanted to do in her life. I barely had a vision of what next week would have been. So, but
That's fair. That's fair.
that was just me. Like, it was like, oh, okay, this is going on. Well, let me deal with it. Let me work with it. What's next? I didn't really plan for things like that. So, you know, our relationship wasn't even like we had these goals and steps in between. It was just, okay, are we still sticking together? Cool. Are we moving this forward? Cool. Otherwise, I was comfortable where we were at.
So what if she never wanted to get married? Was that a her thing or a you thing?
If she never wanted to get married, that would have been a thing. That would have been, okay, well, you never want to get married, but we still have this child. How are we going to work together to raise the child?
That doesn't mean she didn't want a long relationship. What if she just didn't want marriage?
You know what? So her and I have, because we've been together, it's right now the year 2021. We've been together for 22 years.
Damn! Woohoo! Yes!
So hold on.
Long time.
Damn! That's more than your life.
Hang on.
You were like 2.
Not bad.
They're high school sweethearts.
Oh.
Yeah. And also that was bad math. We've been together for 21 years. We've known each other for 25 years.
Wow.
Because we got
Me and
together
Jamal
at the
type
end
thing.
of high school. We got together at the end of high school. Like, we really started getting together closer towards the end of junior year, which is why I always say, like, a year more. But we really were together senior year.
Oh, that is so cute.
It's a long time.
Right. That's like
Facts.
barf.
That's mad long. That's dope.
That
That's
is
dope.
beautiful though.
That's dope.
With us, it was like, there wasn't really a label on what it was. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. And then when I proposed to her, she was my fiance. And I was like, okay, we're going to go to the next step, which is we'll be forever together. And there wasn't, the marriage, the wedding, I should say, is all pomp and circumstance. And then everything else is just, you know, for taxes. But together, we were together in everything. So the titles and everything that came along with it, those were just niceties. We didn't need it. You know, she would have called herself my wife without having the state and God, you know, bless it.
We would have to.
Actually, they were calling her my wife before we got engaged. They were like, oh yeah, where's your wife? And I'm like, yo, we've only been together for like 2 years. They're like, yeah.
That's that. That was that. We know she wasn't going away because Michael had an advocacy, and she stuck with that. We were like, if you're with that,
You could get with this or you could get with that.
Right.
and she stuck with this, so I said, there's no more that.
That's it.
It be your own. It be your own.
I tell ya.
I cannot with you.
What it proves is you decide the direction of what you're going to do based on whether or not you have communication. Most people, when they have kids, most people who have kids before they're even married usually have no discussion of what the relationship is going to be. Most kids are happy accidents. So I'm just like, if you actually have a discussion with someone like, what are your plans? Y'all might actually decide, you know what, we're both gonna wear birth control before we have kids, and we're not gonna buy a house until me and you say we're gonna get married. And if we do buy a house, we're gonna wait this and that. Like, if you actually adultify your communication, there might be certain directions you'll take. Some dudes want to have a kid like with a chick that they think is up. Others.
There's a whole thing to be said about like knowing the person you're with way before you even plan out these steps.
I got my hand up.
Like, yeah, I want to get.
Michael.
Yep. What?
Oh.
I have to say something before I forget. So Nancy, even though you have those conversations, it can still go left. Because I had that conversation with my twin's dad. I was 25, he was 36, and we had that conversation. I was like, I just had, when I met him, my oldest son was 1.5, maybe 2-ish. And I was like, I don't want to have any more kids. I don't want my kids to be more than 5 to 6 years apart. So after 25, because I met him before 25, I had the twins at 25. I was like, after 25, 26, I'm done. Because I don't want to be 30-something having kids. And then when they'll be 10, 11, and I'm in my 40s. I want to be done living life. Like, I want to be starting to live my life. My son is already here. I don't want them too far apart. He's either going to be the only child or there's another one coming. That was the conversation. We waited 3 years. We had the kid. We moved in together. We had the whole thing. It didn't work, honey. So sometimes you can have that conversation and it's still not work.
There's something to be said about those communications.
Right. And granted, he was 11 years older than me. So he was way mature, supposedly mature than I was. So not all the time those conversations work. We plan our kids. What'd you say?
Dudes in our age bracket.
He's not in my age bracket though.
No, dudes in our age, like then he wasn't, but dudes in our age bracket, something between the age of 30 and before they're 40. You think teenagers and 20-year-olds are fuckboys.
Who is the 30-year-olds that are the fuckboys? You're absolutely right. It's in the 30s where they're fuckboys.
That have maturity and something that resembles their thing together. Come to find out
Talk
and
about
I
it.
had to find out as I grew and dated.
They just know how to front
like,
that.
I have to surpass my age bracket or go into the. I can't pull an R. Kelly. I refuse. And go into.
You only 29. 29's not too bad. You know, 28, 27, you know.
Damn, your eyes open mad big.
I'm a jaguar, I'm not a cougar, thank you very much.
I'm a jaguar.
I'm not a cougar, thank you very much. I'm a jaguar.
Puma.
You know what I am? Yeah, I'm a puma.
I'm just a pretty pussy.
Meow.
Oh, hell.
So let her hunt. Let her hunt. Let it happen.
Thank you,
Let her
Michael.
hunt.
Listen, I have been hunted and preyed on, okay? So there's that. What was the next part of our conversation, darlings? You didn't finish talking about your process. If you have your own vision, Miss Nancy, are things going the way you thought it was gonna go?
You're muted.
Oh, I'm not
She's
muted.
muted.
You're muted.
I've told a couple of people what my process was, and based on that, they were like, "We ain't in here for it." I was like, "Well, if you're not in here for a long haul, there's certain things you can't request of me. For instance, I don't want to have kids without a ring on my finger. Why? Because legalities have some sort of guarantees. I don't think I'll be the type to be haranguing someone and using my kids because, you know, I'm the wife and mother. Whatever happens, happens. But I just want my kids to be legally both yours and ours, and the only way out is for you to legally nip. That's my whole shtick. We can have kids, but I want them to have us to legally have you as you and I, one last name, except I love my last name, so I'm hyphenated, together.
Yeah, for real.
And I want a household to put them in.
She said what she said.
Like, just like I had told my friend who was pregnant, she was 18 at the time when she was pregnant, but I was just like, you cannot live in Massachusetts and have a kid and no car. you're not doing this whole pushing a kid and riding the bus thing, because it is going to be super tough. Yeah, owning a car is going to be hard, but pushing a car in a stroller during a snowstorm,
Especially in the
have to get
winter.
them to work, have to get them to daycare, you have no choice but to take them to their mother's house, is even tougher. So get a car. Same thing. Owning a house and being married is going to be hard, but at least you'll have a place for them to be in a household. That's what I want. I don't want to rent an apartment. I don't want somebody else having the ability to kick me out, me and my kids out of the place. I want me, you, and the kids under one roof. If you no longer want to be there, that's good. Let me keep the roof. Let me keep the roof that we decided that we're going to put these kids under. Like, I legit had, these are the steps. Even if it's done in a year or two, these are what I want. If you cannot abide by something that seems to be logical to me, then there's no point. Don't give me the seed if there is no place to plant it. That's where I want to grow. If you can't grow with me, then thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye.
Facts. I like that. I'm not mad at that.
Have you come to
I'm not mad at it.
I mean, we can have it out of order, but the second you find out me and you about to grow something in me internally, within the 9 months,
10.
we're going to have something to put that kid in. It is not going to be in my 1-bedroom apartment.
That's a fact.
But then you just said it can go out of order.
Meaning they could get the house before the kids if they wanted, or they could get engaged or whatever before the kid, but the kid can't come before everything else. That's what she's saying. The kid can't come before the house. The house has to be there before she has those kids.
So what if something happens? Life happens.
If she gets pregnant, he got 9 months to get the house. That's what she
10
said.
months.
Yeah,
It's
she
10
got 10 months to
She
get the
said
house.
9.
You don't gotta get pregnant.
And I'm not
Exactly.
That's what I'm just reiterating what she said. Y'all wasn't listening. Y'all
I was
didn't catch that.
listening. I just
Oh, yeah, 'cause
have a
you
lot of
corrected her. She
questions.
said
I
10.
just got questions. That's all. Because life
I'm not
happens.
talking about men should get pregnant before the house. I'm legit going to go into my 401k that I'm just sitting there for, because your 401k allows you to do 3 big purchases. A house, a funeral, and a kid. And I'm just like, well, me and the kid are going to just live off me and my paycheck real quick, if that's the case, if that's the necessity. But me and you are going to decide to put a roof over this kid's head, period. And we're going to financially authorize ourselves to make that big old purchase because the kids cost money. And I'm just like, we need to be prepared. Some guys are always ready to impregnate a woman without dealing with the fact that these kids are no joke. You think a mom is supposed to be the only person waking up in the middle of the night. You think a mom is supposed to be the only person coming to pick up the kids for daycare, going to these school things, going to hospitals and whatnot. No, I need you to understand that under these legalities, if I can't do it, you definitely will. There's not going to be who's the next of kin that these kids are going to, or do they have godparents? No, I'm dead, their father's alive, hand it over. That's where it's going. With me, the state and the US of A will know exactly what needs to be done. Even in death, I'm going to write down what needs to be done. Like, the dude I'm with needs to understand the word. You are legally bound to me, and because of that, you will have some form of respect to the union that we form, because we'll have discussed it. If not, then you will have to legally unbind yourself. But there is still going to be some paperwork that says, even if you don't want to, these kids and whatever comes with them are yours.
You realize that a birth certificate is a legal binding contract as well, right?
I watch court shows all day long.
Yes or no?
I not only do I
Okay,
recognize
I'm just asking that one question.
I also
That's it.
recognize that because
Once he signs the birth certificate, he is obligated to take care of that child.
The birth certificate is all well and good, but there's also the what is it? If where you can have the father, if he's paying child support, handle the what do you call that? The insurance. That doesn't always work out. And then depending on which judge you go to, that and which state you're in, certain things women are legally obligated to do with or without the man being beside them. But when he's your husband, you have no choice but to do it with her at all times. I'm just like,
Yo, Nancy has thought this through, all the way through. She got an answer for every question.
She do, but shit still happens. I've seen every scenario. I've seen women still have this vision and have this dream and it still go left. That's all I'm saying is that shit happens. That's it. It's great to have a vision. That's what you're supposed to do.
She's gonna have a house before the kid. She's
That's-
gonna
I mean,
live in her 401k.
There we go. I'm
Sounds
not
more
against
like
it.
it sounds more like a plan than a vision.
Sounds like a backup plan.
A plan
too,
and vision, right? Because she's actually doing the work behind it. So she has the vision and she has the work to go behind it. So yes, it is a plan. All I'm saying is life happens.
Right.
That's it.
The best laid plans could always crash, but it's always good to have a
Your
backup plan just in case. Because my vision can always turn into a nightmare. Like the husband I married can always turn into
That's all I'm
my
saying.
terror. My
Yes.
kids could have not just your regular standardized regular kids problems, but mental health issues, physical
Right.
delays, the whole nine. And I'm just like, that's cool. But me and you need to have this stuff together. Before you're whispering sweet nothings in my ear talking about you need to become my baby mama, I need you to understand that the title of wife and mother are more appealing to me than baby mother. Ex-wife and mother of your kids sound far more appealing to me than just your baby mother. So if you can appeal to me, then you can become my husband too. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, if you don't do what I say, then we're not in it. Like, show me a different compromise. Something that I would be like, yo, that sounds good too. Because if I'm laying plans and you're laying bricks, we're not together.
Right.
Like,
You know, Nancy knows we live in a capitalist society. She's trying to cover everything.
That's good.
all the bases. Because you
That's
never
good.
know when something's gonna happen. And all
That's
of a
good.
sudden,
Exactly. That's all I was saying. And it's good that you have that backup plan because a lot of people don't. And that's the problem. It's not having the backup plan. That's the problem. They're not prepared for the what ifs.
Some people don't have a plan at all. Like,
Then there's that.
And you know what? I can say that as great as Nancy made me shout to be because I hug my kids and my wife and my family, it took a lot of work to get from, being someone who was working cash registers in like stores to being someone in IT in corporate America. And it was a lot of pushing from my wife who was not going to accept,
The mediocre.
mediocrity.
Yep.
mediocrity either. And, Nancy's saying that she's putting it up front. I need, if you want this, and this is happening, I need to make sure that we're preparing for the long vision.
Right.
And, good for her.
But I mean, isn't that what everybody like?
That usually is the vision, right?
That's
That
what it
usually
should be.
That's what it should. That's what a lot of people want. Somehow it
You know
just
what I
doesn't always work out
say?
that way.
The people who say, "What do you bring to the table?" Just like baggage, I bring my own table. But like everybody's table, not everybody's table is stable.
It's solid.
What from my table can you take and reciprocate? Even if we're not we're not in a relationship anymore. There are certain segments of your table that are missing. What can you learn from me that'll fill a gap in your table? And when your table is filled and we are no longer together for whatever reason, can you take your table and show someone else who's missing things from their table too, things that they're missing? Like if you have your own table but you don't get along with your family, can the person that comes in become the bridge to you and your family? If you're financially
You need your yin to your yang. You need that.
and that person lets you know, like, here's what you need. If you're an alcoholic who has the money together, you have clean people, but you're an alcoholic, can this person get you into AA? No one has to bring something to your table. You just have to learn to upgrade your own so that you're better off, even with or without that person.
Right.
That's why I hate that statement. I was like, if I got baggage, what makes you think I don't have a table to put that baggage on?
Sis,
What do you bring to the table, Nancy?
My baggage.
Nancy brings her whole goddamn table to
My
your
whole
table.
What's wrong with your table?
Nancy said
She's
her
coming with the
table got all four
screws.
legs. What you
She's coming with the tools to fix your table.
What do you need? What do you
Right.
need? There's internet on my table.
There's banana, there's guyo. Yo, she said
Is
this
there black rice? Is there black rice? And Soup Juma.
On the first only, and when I feel like it sometimes.
Where you live at?
I'm sorry.
Connection.
We have a hand up in the back.
Javi,
Yo, can I be real for 2 seconds?
go ahead.
Like, all that sounds good, right? But I was thinking about what you were saying, Amanda.
Who,
right?
me?
Yeah, Panda.
About which one?
About, like, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember having this conversation a long time ago with you, and you're always saying, like, you can never be prepared. You can never be prepared. It's about kids and everything, right? And I had that same mindset, like, yo, I want this and that to be set up before I have kids. And I was married at the time, right? Still married. And I think now I'm at that point, almost 40, where I can do it. I'm comfortable doing it. My wife is younger than me. And, you know, we're at that point in our life where we feel like we can do what we need to do to have kids. But I didn't go into this thinking that, like the earliest times in our relationship. Like, I was with my wife when we were, like, in our early 20s. And we wasn't thinking about that. We were just thinking about what everybody was thinking in their 20s. We just so happened to do it with each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
And most people, not most people, but a lot of people that I know that are in, like, these long-term relationships that waited and planned and have all these, like, plans together, and the man's doing what he needs to do and the woman needs to do what she's doing, they didn't start like that either. Michael, right? He said something like he had to grow into that. He had to learn that. And I think that's the best way to learn these lessons, because Nancy, I feel like, again, anything can happen, but I feel like sometimes we plan so much that when we're with somebody, we don't give them enough time to grow. Because once you see a deviation from your plan that you've had in your head for so long and you're so, like, strong about it, you're gonna walk away. And the thing that sucks about that is that people change, people grow together. Like, your influence can affect somebody in a way that they're perfect for you, but they just need your influence, right? So I'm just saying that reality sometimes doesn't match up to what you're thinking in your head. And I think that's, you know, a lesson to take in, just so you're not disappointed constantly.
Well, no, absolutely. The only reason why I'm like, every other thing can happen before. If it happens. The only thing I'm saying is, if I have to physically carry another human being in my body,
Right. That's her only one.
That's my one stipulation. Mind
Yes.
you, I didn't say you have to be financially stable. I didn't say that you have to be, you know, the best family man on the face of the planet. That was my one caveat for anyone. Before you start talking to me about having children, just know that this human
Needs a house.
That's
To
it.
have this child in.
That's your deal breaker.
Yes.
That's your
Yes.
deal breaker.
That's fair.
Like
That
you
is-
said, married. I think isn't
I was
married?
just
Yeah.
No.
I just
The marriage can happen after.
Right.
If she ends up
You really
pregnant,
want to have a kid. That's it. But because I'm like, I've watched too many people give birth, and having that human coming out of you is no joke. Like, I don't know if you guys are interested, but I am going to buy the period cramp simulator from Amazon. And my friend whose husband is having his first girl child will now be able to experience what it feels like to have a contraction and or a period between the pain of one to six.
Why?
And I was just like, when you have to potentially get surgically open to have that human removed from you, or have your innards stretched to the point of no return to have that human pulled out of you, I need something of that extreme happening to my body to have somewhere to go to that's not an apartment. That's all I want. Everything else you can grow into. Matter of fact, we were talking about me and my friends were talking about creating a weed company and what it would take to do it, getting the licensing. Don't worry about it. It was something that was just like off the dome. Because
Let's talk about that.
No. Let's go back to the cramping and all that simulator. Why?
Right, so I was just like, if y'all men are ever interested,
Nope.
Who would ever be interested? What?
You will understand why I need to have this home for this kid. Because when you have to go into physical pain that you may or may not die from, and you're a black woman that's dealing with a whole bunch of white doctors, the last thing you want to do after you're done having that physical and possible mental postpartum that stress you out and make things worse for everyone involved. And that's the only thing. I was just like, I just want my mental well-being to be in a place where I know I'm in a home with my child, maybe my husband or boyfriend, and we are okay financially. Financial ill-being is a problem for me because I've seen what it did to my parents. The stressors of being financially defunct are real. You can send someone to the mental house because they honestly think that they're going to lose everything. They won't be able to afford medical this, medical that, especially when you have a kid and have to take that kid to the medical doctor. I don't know how often when they're an infant and then as they get older and then shots.
Every 3 months.
It's crazy.
Let's talk about how neither one of my parents own anything. Not a house, not a car. They don't own anything. My dad's 92 and doesn't even have life insurance. So,
Be prepared.
yeah. So, yes, I'm prepared. Listen, and this is why I'm like, yo, I had 401k as soon as I got my job. I got this put away. I got money here, money there, money here, money there. I'm like, yo, because I can't be like y'all. I don't understand how you didn't prepare at all. Go ahead, King Al. I just don't understand.
Like, teacher, why y'all raising your hand? Y'all are in a group.
Because we like to give each other space to speak.
You know what? Y'all are nice.
Yeah.
Yo,
Go ahead, King Al.
I think men get postpartum.
So no.
Head ass.
No, wait, no.
I mean, you a father, yo.
Wait,
from your
hold on.
perspective, yeah.
Hold
I mean,
on.
they could get maternity
Hold on.
too, right?
Yeah, why you stepping on what he's saying as a
Hold
father,
on.
though?
That's why
Hold on.
I'm checking
why can't-
myself.
all right,
I
word.
said y'all can
Damn.
get maternity leave, so
Now.
yes,
Now,
y'all could get postpartum.
I have 4 children. 4. Married into 2. Had 2 after we got married. Right? Throughout raising the kids, raising her first 2, we was all right. She wasn't going through anything, she had a job, she was stable, had help from her mom, daycare, the whole 9 yards. So she's gone through that era already and she's gotten out of it. Once we had our first, that was the third boy. I believe she went into that because she always wanted a girl. And once the boy was born, she always wanted another kid. And she was like, here we go again. So
But we're talking about your postpartum.
everything up to me.
Your postpartum.
She left everything up to me to take care of the kids. Look, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I can't do this anymore, so forth and so forth. It's your turn.
So not so much of the fact that you were going through postpartum, but because she was going through postpartum, and now you felt like you were a single father because she didn't help.
Right. So going through all of that.
Welcome to being a mom.
Well, okay, that's okay. That's okay
Having to do it all.
I did that. And then after a while, it became to a point where I was like, okay, is this it? Like, do I have to do this for the rest of my life? Like, just sit here.
Yo,
That is
men are so funny.
Just
That is
sit
postpartum.
here, like-
That is exactly what postpartum
I mean,
is.
I want to go to work. I mean, and I can't.
And you want to breathe, and you just
Yo,
want to be able to
so-
not open the door or share your French fries or piss in peace or take a shit in peace for the rest of your life? Yes, that is exactly
Hold on,
what
wait a minute.
postpartum is.
Oh, wait.
That's
Michael,
exactly.
welcome back on
Wait,
camera.
exactly
I'm
what
glad you
being
made
a
it
mother
home
is.
safely.
That's what being a parent is. Whether the other significant person is there or not, that's a parent. It ain't
Okay,
got
no,
nothing to do
yeah,
with
of
being a
course.
mommy or a daddy. It's supposed to be shared responsibilities equally across the board.
So you were
the
sad
only
about it?
thing that
You were
you
depressed?
can't do as a man is breastfeed.
I wasn't depressed. or
Everything
sad
else you
about
can
it
do as a
because
parent.
no matter what, I did what needed to be done. I did what needed to be done,
Bang.
regardless.
Bang.
And I would ride my bike to get them to daycare while she got a ride to work. So going through all of that and seeing that on the daily, I was like, wow. Like,
I get it.
okay, all right. So this is it.
Maybe they have to have a term for it. Is it still postpartum for dads?
It's not necessarily
No, it can't be postpartum.
because postpartum literally comes from the physical
Being
Act
pregnant,
of-
right?
yes.
It's
This
more
is
like
antepartum and postpartum.
depression.
So what?
Fell into a depression.
Okay,
Fell
that's
into
depression.
like a depression of some sort. Depression was related to not having the assistance you needed, but you would have been able to get up and out of that depression the second she started helping.
To help.
The second she started to be able to do that. The problem with postpartum is even
It
when
doesn't
you
go
have
away.
help, there's a sense of wrongness that's happening in your mind internally, and your body is also not helping you fix that. There's insecurities that come with it. There is little physical deformities that might happen. Like you could legit lose what is it? Your pelvic floor might be damaged. You have possible internal organ damages like your kidneys or whatever it is. Wherever it is that kid sat the most might have a problem now. And because of it, every time you sneeze, you pee or whatever. So whatever you were having, it wasn't postpartum depression. It was depression as a whole because you felt alone in your parenthood. So it wasn't that. I mean, hey, Michael could say different.
Michael learned. You learned quickly. Go ahead, Michael. Your turn.
You know, I was at the head of the class when I was reading.
I believe you. I believe you were.
So there's two different things if it's about kids and when they're born. One, the mother does normally suffer from postpartum, whether it's just a little bit or as extreme as some of the ones that are like, I will kill this child to get it back in me.
Yeah.
And then there's all of the other, and that's a psychological thing that happens from postpartum. And I'm sorry because at home you hear all the
I hear the kids. Hi guys. Do you need a babysitter?
Do you want them?
I do. Have
we said want them.
No. Are they in the double digits?
One of them is.
I'll take the other one that is not in the double
Listen,
digits.
you actually might want the 15-year-old.
I don't. I don't.
Sure. Sure.
No, don't do it.
My nephew.
As long as you got Wi-Fi, he's pretty.
What's his sign?
He's an Aquarius.
No.
Keep him. You can keep him. Please keep him.
So-
We're too emotional for her.
I'm.
You know he is.
Yeah, he is.
Then we wouldn't work because I'm a bag of water.
So with fatherhood though, it's very different because we struggle in the beginning to connect with a child.
Yes.
Mother has that innate connection immediately from umbilical cord, and then you're out and it's suckling. You guys are connected to this baby forever in ways that we'll never be able to make. We start forming connections later, not even in the first few months.
No.
Like we struggle to make that connection in the beginning, and then when we do start getting that connection, some fathers have to drop other things before that connection happens. So now you have this connection with the child, but you've lost the connection to everything else. You now have depression because you're like, I used to chill with my friends. I used to do all this. Yeah, we can say it's parenting, but also
Quit your job.
Adulting.
your job is different when you get back to it because we do have paternal leave, which is a month now.
It's a reality check.
It is. It's a whole. Everything changes. Everything changes. All your relationships changes. Your relationships with your friends, your family. Everything changes. It can make or break a relationship. Seriously, because of that whole connection thing. You're absolutely right. And that's where a lot of relationships make or break because that first 6 months, you're right. There is no relationship because children learn from men through cognitive. And in the beginning, there is no cognitive. They just want the nurturing. And because we carry that baby for 10 months, if it's full term, that connection's already there from jump. So you're right. And by the time that 6 months kicked in, y'all are tired of trying to build with this thing that don't even want to coo at you. And the first thing that it says is dad. And you're like, but what do you mother ass? And you're vexed because, dog, y'all didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You did nothing. And then the little shit looks like you and it says dad. Like, the audacity. The audacity.
Yo, some of us do something.
Bruh.
Is it audacity or is it greatness at work?
Wow.
You know what? I think I'm gonna wrap this up right there with that
Because he is
because
trash
no.
for saying that.
Because no. That's not what we're gonna do.
For the ones that are great fathers.
Yes. So to the men that are out there that are great dads, I absolutely applaud you guys. For the men that stick it through, that go through the depression, and for the women that don't use your children as puppets over the dads, if it doesn't work out, let him see his kid. All right? Just because he has a new girlfriend and moved on, don't be bitter. And for you men that don't want to see your kid's mother move on, let her move on, bro. You can still raise your kid as an adult and co-parent, and everybody be fine. It's possible. It gets done. So let's try to bring our communities back together. Let's keep this black love going and glowing. All of it. Let's just keep the black love going because it's dope. Yo, 22 years, man, listen. That's dope. It's amazing. It's amazing. Keep it going.
It's a lot of little steps.
Keep it going.
It's just trying to outdo my grandparents.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Because you know what? You know what?
What?
Huh?
You said something about fucking a goat?
What? You know what? That's why I'm gonna stop the show because now we're hearing shit. We're hearing shit.
No, that's it.
Yo, I swear that's what he just said. Peace, love, and light. We're not fucking goats around here. Nobody call the MSPCA. Is that who they are? Don't call the Anna Peter people. Don't call them on us. We're not fucking goats at all.
We didn't say he said.
Shout out to all the great dads. Shout out to all the great moms. If you need support, there's help out there. If people are not receiving you expressing that you need that help, they're not your village. Please find someone.
Honestly.
There's help out there. Mm-hmm. There are people that would take your kid and take him so you can sleep, so you can take a nap.
Yeah.
So you can play with your husband's balls or your boyfriend's balls.
Oh.
Who cares? There's people that will take your children. Panda Care will take your kids too. Look it up. www.pandacares, 4u.com. Like, I know some sign, baby. Like, look me up. I'll come to you. I love the babies. I love them. I do. Peace, love, and light. Do you guys want to shout anybody out?
All of us.
A business? Do you want to shout a business out?
I have one last thing to say.
Go ahead.
To any and all the fathers, if you don't know what to do, look for another father and get help. You can always feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
You will find other mothers all over the place. But a father will always feel like they ain't shit. They don't know what they're doing.
Find another dad.
Find another dad. Dads understand that.
Women with no children, it's okay. You ain't.
It is okay.
Thank you.
It's okay.
It's not all that it's wrapped up to be. It's really hard.
It's okay if you don't like kids, but it's even better if you want to help out your friends who do have kids every once in a while.
She does. She'd be like, come over. She does.
I say come over. Let me be that home where you could leave the kids and you could come over and just have your me time.
And another valid point. Another valid point. Bonus parents. Y'all are dope too. Don't ever make nobody feel like they're less than because there are bonus parents. Being a bonus parent is hard as hell. Yeah. Because they're not your kid. Yeah. And so there's a lot of thin line. There's a lot of red tape in being a bonus parent. So to the bonus parents that are out there, keep doing your job because these kids at the end of the day, they do need the love, regardless of where it's coming from. Whether they
see it, they feel it, and eventually they will voice that appreciation.
So peace, love, and light. Shout us out. Shout out to Panagasms, Nancy, Michael. Thank you for coming to the show. We appreciate you. Anybody else? Y'all want to say anything?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, y'all. We out.
Panagasms.